As the presiding officer of the day, Girija Deshpande, PP Education of the club, declare the meeting adjourned. It is my privilege to propose the vote of thanks. Our president, distinguished Toastmaster Renosh Thomas, is sorely missed. I am thankful to our general evaluator who took up this role instantly when I requested him that this is our first trial with this reverse strategy, and for the keen insights that he gave with his complete report. Thank you very much for that consolidated report, which gave us a lot of insights. To the speech evaluators, Toastmasters Aseel Saeed, Vinaya Anand, and Riyad Mohammad, and timer Prasita Bhat, a ton of gratitude. Your contribution is invaluable. To join another club and do these responsibilities, especially when it is a different kind of a strategy, is amazing. Thank you for that confidence and courage in joining us and contributing to the meeting. Thank you to all my home club members who were support for this experiment. Today's reverse meeting may have been confusing, especially to recent Toastmasters, but I'm sure all of us realized through this experience that certainly this was worth taking, because even though it was confusing, through this experience, we realized that we can develop better listening skills and presence of mind if we play our role to the hilt. Whatever the evaluators during the evaluation section said we did, most of us did try to live up to that expectation. Thank you for that. Now, let me transfer the baton to the Toastmaster of the day. Now, I'm the Toastmaster of the day too. Friends, we experienced a topsy-turvy world in the last 85 minutes. This is just a microcosm of the real world. Life has a wicked sense of humor. Just when we think that everything is going smooth and we have masterminded the script, it flips the stage and changes the lighting. Life tests us, and it tests not what we know, but sometimes with unexpected. But how gracefully we respond to those unexpected, unforeseen circumstances. That determines the metal that we are made of. Not all our dreams come true. Aspirations happen. Our plans, the best plans of mice and men do go awry, says the proverb. Each day, we see people suddenly lose their near and dear ones in an accident. Suddenly, people lose their homes, destroyed in floods or fire. People lose their limbs in a terror attack or sometimes an accident. People lose their beauty because of some accident, because somebody has thrown acid by mistake or deliberately, whatever it is. And people lose their hard-earned money because of some scams or because they have been cheated. So life always throws googly at us. And in that upside down space, a strength of character, integrity, courage, patience, compassion, all these show their true face. Coping with today's VUCA world, that is the volatile, uncertain, complex, and ambiguous world, facing something topsy-turvy, upside down, is a must-have life skill. This upside-down format in the meeting brings its own disarray, and how we align is the learning ground. In a supportive environment of this meeting, we tested our own appetite for risk, willingness to experiment, and the ability to laugh at ourselves for the mistakes that we did, isn't it? My heartfelt gratitude to our general evaluator for his insightful comments and astute observations. Amazing observations.
Well, have you handed it over to me yet?
Yes, yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's what happens when the world spins the other way around. East becomes West and West becomes East. Today's meeting was nothing short of exactly that. Can you imagine if the Earth's axis turned 180 degrees tomorrow morning and we were, instead of being attracted by gravity, repelled by gravity? It would be a wonderful new world, a world in which this particular eloquent elites would thrive. What I truly enjoyed about today's meeting, and for which I would like to commend every single role player, was the fact that if VUCA is our reality, this club demonstrated bring on Kavu and we will still be exactly where we want to be. The meeting ended with such power that I feel that this meeting should keep going on and on and on for some more time. The fact of the matter is that we chose to come here and do what we did, and we followed it to the T. The red was the green was the red, and yet we didn't flinch, yet we didn't falter, yet we did not take a step back because we are eloquent elites, and as the elites of eloquence, we know exactly what we are expected to do, come hell or high water or the other way around. And precisely that's what happened in today's meeting. The meeting was so beautifully organized that normally the tip of the iceberg is what is visible to the world. We saw the iceberg first, and the tip came and delivered the punch when it required to do so. In order for us to fulfill our obligations as Toastmasters, we embarked on this wonderful journey, and every single role player came prepared to perform and performed with preparation. The evidence of that will be shortly witnessed by all of you. And I think the meeting itself culminated in the most interesting form that it could have ever culminated. And I, for one, I'm extremely grateful that I am following the grammarian who was so astute in her observations that it helped each and every one. And I, for one, have been spared of the ignominy of being evaluated by somebody for my lack of skills with the language. I think we should all join together in applauding our grammarian for a job really well done. If you were if you were to look at how this meeting transpired, all you need to do is look at how the table topics got conducted. Each topic relevant to the theme dealt with great amount of eloquence by each and every one of our evaluators. Not only did they do justice, sorry, the table topic speakers, not only did they do justice, they brought their own topsy-turviness to the whole proceeding. And to that, I say kudos to our table topic master for having brought to life the kind of projects that were required to be performed, and they were performed with a great deal of aplomb by each and every one of our table topic speakers. So let's give all our table topic speakers a big round of applause. My role as your general evaluator is to evaluate the evaluators. And today, I must say, my job was rendered extremely easy because the three evaluators in the meeting each are a shining star in their own respect. Each of them brought to life what it means to motivaluate. They had astute observations, precise suggestions, and of course, a powerful conclusion. All in all, if I were to be a speaker in such a meeting, I would go home with not a spoonful, not a cupful, not even a plateful. I would go home with a bag full of observations which I can employ tomorrow morning onwards and become a truly eloquent speaker. And to that, each of the evaluators, a job superbly done. Each of you should pat yourself on the back for being such good evaluators. What it tells me is that the evaluators have conspired with the speakers and come up with evaluations which were apt and helpful for each of the speakers. And what to say about the speakers? Their vocabulary was delectable. Their delivery was the definition of what it takes to be a good Toastmaster. And of course, their content, above all, brought to life their poignant stories and drove home their points to me in such effective eloquence that I, for one, feel richer for the experience of having had listened to such interesting speeches today. All in all, I thought this meeting was truly the right way to commence the Toastmasters year and the new year. And none of this would have been possible without the radiant, the charming, the eloquent, and of course, the captivating Toastmaster of the day. Every time I see Toastmaster Girija taking the stage, all I want to do is sit like this and just listen. Listen and just listen. She is eloquence personified. She is a storyteller par excellence who can weave the most mundane of topics into a tapestry of eloquence in such a manner that each of us will be mesmerized. I, for one, truly was. Excuse me. And today was no different to any other time that she takes the stage. If you don't believe me, go to her Facebook page and listen to her narrating stories in other languages. Today was exactly the same. She brought to life the topsy-turviness of life in such a beautiful manner that you really now want and desire to be in the topsy-turviness of this entire universe. She spun us around as if we were on a giant wheel going at 90 kilometers per hour. And yet, while clinging for dear life, none of us thought we should not listen to her. Maybe our intestines were in our mouth, maybe our brains were coming out of our eyes, but still, the magic of Toastmaster Girija kept us all hooked to what we wanted to achieve out of this meeting. And to that, ladies and gentlemen, I would request you to please join me in applauding our Toastmaster of the day for a job so magnificently done that it was the right dose that we needed on a Sunday evening because we have to face a VUCA Monday tomorrow and we all are better prepared for that madness which is to transpire. That, ladies and gentlemen, has been my time, and time doesn't stop for anyone, does it? Which only means that we need to keep a lookout and make sure that we have used time effectively. I hope I have consumed just the right amount of time, and I am leaving you now with these parting words. The world may be topsy or topsy. The choice to look at is yours. But the fact is, the earth spins around. What's on top today is going to be at the bottom tomorrow. And what's at the bottom today is going to be at the top. Where you want to plant your flag is your choice. And in this topsy turvy world, all you can do is keep planting your flags just like you do by coming, attending, participating, and actively contributing to every single Toastmasters meeting that you're invited to. That's my time as your general evaluator. Let's go around in circles now.
The timer will present the
Yeah,
report.
timer, if you can now read out the timer's report for the evaluation segment.
No, first I'll start with the grammarian, right?
Yeah. So the whole evaluation
Okay,
segment.
okay.
Evaluation
So the
section.
grammarian Supriya took 1 minute 55 seconds. AhCounter Tulin took 1 minute 40 seconds. The speech evaluator Aseel Saeed took 2 minutes 10 seconds. Toastmaster Vinaya Anand took 2 minutes 20 seconds. Toastmaster Riyad took 2 minutes 15 seconds. So all of them have qualified for voting.
Fantastic. We shall make note of that and we will request Madam President to launch the polls when the time is right. Thank you so much, Madam Grammarian, for having listened so carefully and delivered your grammarian's report with such precision. That is, ladies and gentlemen, what astute listening or active listening looks like. If you have not understood it yet, take the recording of today's session and listen to it 5 or 6 times to understand what it means to truly listen in a meeting.
Thank you, General Evaluator. Now, I will present the grammarian's report. It was a pleasant surprise for me today. Almost everyone used the word of the day, disarray, which means a state of disorder or confusion. General Evaluator, Toastmaster of the day, Table Topics Master, all three prepared speakers and table topic speakers used the idiom of the day upside down and conveyed disorganized or chaotic situations very effectively. The table topic session also gave speakers good opportunities to use both the word and the idiom. I heard appropriate adjectives like funny, fresh perspectives, thunderous or resounding applause, scrambled world. I also heard interesting phrases like wicked sense of humor. Some suggestions for better grammatical correct expressions are: I heard the sentence an upside down world force us to listen harder. The correct expression is an upside down world forces us to listen harder because the subject is singular. We are all learning here, and I'm thankful for the opportunity. Over to you, General Evaluator.
What an evaluation from Toastmaster Aseel Saeed. If you wanted to see what a good evaluation looks like, this is it. I would like to commend Toastmaster Aseel for having delivered this precise evaluation. The only feedback that I would give to Toastmaster Aseel is smile a little more, take a little more pause, because when you recommended to the speaker that pauses are important, I would have appreciated to see a little more of that same thing being displayed in your demeanor as well. Other than that, a fantastic evaluation. Kudos to you, and even more kudos for having had kept to time. Oh, yes, I am slightly remiss. I'm slightly remiss. The AhCounter in today's meeting had very little to do, yet what was done in style and in efficiency, because the speakers are trained, the speakers are efficient, yet today there were nuances which had to be picked, which was picked effectively by the AhCounter. That, ladies and gentlemen, is what this role teaches you to do. And Toastmaster Tulin, despite being relatively new to this world of Toastmastering, has done a commendable job of being our counter of the day.
you. Thank you, General Evaluator. Here is the AhCounter report. I was at first shocked that almost everyone, I repeat, everyone, even those who do not ever do it, use filler sounds ah, or repeatedly used words like so, but, absolutely, and so on. Then I realized when the meeting is upside down and speaking order is in disarray, the best of us do fumble. Coming to specifics, General Evaluator used absolutely once and filler once. Table topic master used so as a filler word twice. Table topic speakers, all of them used Speech evaluator Aseel Saeed used the filler word so twice. Speech evaluator Vinaya used the filler word right twice. Speech evaluator Riyad Mohammad used the filler word basically twice. Prepared speaker Darsh used filler sound R twice. Nupur used filler sound R once. Siddharth used filler phrase once. Grammarian Supriya used a sound once. I myself used the filler words basically and absolutely. Sergeant at Arms Mamatha used filler phrase I mean twice. Thank you. Over to you, General Evaluator.
Thank you. Now let's turn our attention to the evaluators. And like I've already said, evaluator number 3 has done a commendable job, wonderfully delivered, fabulous evaluation, something that we all should learn from and keep emulating.
Aseel, can you please put on the video? Yes, so that I can spotlight you. Thank you.
First of all, someone pronounced Aseel, but it's Aseel with an S, not a Z, okay?
Ah,
Shall I give my report?
yes, please, go for it.
Okay. What an incredible speech. So amazing. Wow. It's not what I say, but how I say it. You know what they say that sometimes when we say something we always say after it, sorry, I didn't mean it like that. Words have many meanings. So does sentence, and so does the way we say it. That's how our target speaker delivered our speech today. Great. Vocal variety, hand gesture, eye contact, and wow, what an incredible speech. It was about leadership, talking about leadership and types of leadership. Today we got to learn more about this leadership and the leadership in general. If my only area of improvement, if you could deliver your speech by dividing it into stage movement. Even though that this is a Zoom meeting, we want to stay connected to our audience best as possible. So if you could just divide your speech into stage movements, it would be much appreciated. Thank you, and thank you for having me. And thank you for this amazing speech. I'm sure you're going to do even better. Looking forward to it. Over to you.
Toastmaster Vinaya is someone that I know in real life beyond the Zoom screen. Someone that brings with her her inimitable style of humor in everything that she ever does. She is a champion speaker, and today she demonstrated why she is a champion speaker in her astuteness with which she evaluated the speech. If the meeting was in disarray, she was a beacon of calm. If the meeting was upside down, she tried her level best to put it downside up. Boy, did she succeed. I'm sure the speaker, Nupur, will say it's her life, it's her choice, but the choices have become slightly more sensible thanks to Toastmaster Vinaya's beautiful evaluation. I think this is an evaluation for the ages. Let's applaud Toastmaster Vinaya for having done such a wonderful job.
May I start?
Yes,
Yes.
please.
Yes.
As rain is to trees, similarly, evaluation is to the speech. I congratulate my speaker, Toastmaster Nupur, on this incredible journey that she has done and the speech that she has given. The speech clearly communicates a strong central message about personal freedom, self belief, and owning one's decisions. Her life, her choice, or my life, my choice, as the title says. There was absolutely no disarray in your speech. It clearly communicated the purpose, which was evident from the title itself and consistently reinforced throughout the speech. Your organization and structure of the speech had a logical flow, engaging introduction that connected with the audience, personal experiences, examples that supported the stream, the theme, a very strong conclusion. Vocal voice was very clear and confident. Effective uses of pauses emphasized key points, right? Variation in tone helped maintain the audience interest. Just a very overall impact, I would say. It has specifically successfully inspired listeners to reflect on their own choices and take responsibility for their lives. Just a simple suggestion for improvement: include a rhetorical question or audience interaction that could further enhance engagement. But overall, I would say my life, my choice is an effective, inspirational, and persuasive speech that demonstrates strong communication skills, and you have achieved it. Thank you.
Toastmaster Riyad, take a bow, because that evaluation is something that you should be extremely proud of. It's an evaluation born out of your dedication to the craft of evaluation, the art of motivation, and the science of ensuring continuity. This evaluation is something that I, for one, will remember for a long time to come. That being said, I would like to request you to try this kind of evaluation without using any kind of notes, without using any prop, anything that will impede your hand movement, and stand and deliver your evaluation. Even though it's a Zoom platform, it will render this evaluation even better. All in all, I thought this was an evaluation really well done on a topic which is very dear to my heart. God lives in nature, and that is truly exemplified in every aspect of nature. I'm just coming out of drizzle in Dubai, and all I can say is it felt like God's blessing showering on me. And that is exactly what that speech brought out. So, to that, I would say a great speech, greatly evaluated.
Just let's wait a minute. He has dropped out. He'll be just joining. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Thank you so much. For the sake of guess until he comes, if people have joined late and have not understood what is the theme, it's a reverse meeting. You must have seen it, the picture itself going topsy-turvy when you saw that flyer. That must have made it very clear to you. In a reverse meeting, what the tail end is what is the beginning of the meeting. And then we go to the beginning of the meeting right at the end. So we have started with the presiding officer closing the speech, closing the meeting, and then now it is a general evaluation session that is going on. So this is just to give you a brief of how the meeting goes on. So somebody had asked, what is it like? So in the session. So just expecting him to join within a second. In the meantime, if anybody has questions, you can quickly ask. Anyone has questions? It is strange and it is tough, but that's what it is. Life is like that. Then suddenly, because of an earthquake, somebody is moved from a place without documents because the house is in shambles and it is raining hell after the earthquake. people are not able to retrieve their documents and the government says, show me your ration card, then you will get your ration. This was the case earlier when once on a Republic Day at Bhuj, the earthquake happened. And I happened to, because I'm a community worker, I happened to meet some of the people and I realized how the world has gone topsy-turvy. Same happened to many of us during COVID. But most of us cannot even imagine the real difficulties that people on ground went through because we are fortunately not in that strata of life. People who live in that sphere, they have really gone through upside downs and that has built their strength. I can see, Riyad, thank you and congratulations. I'm spotlighting you. You will be presenting your evaluation of Darsh's speech right now. Thank you.
Hey, good evening, fellow Toastmasters and guest. Am I audible?
Yes, clearly.
Yes, you are.
Thank you so much. Today, I will be evaluating my speaker, Mr. Darsh. So, once again, General Evaluator, fellow Toastmasters, and especially our speaker of the day, Darsh. Nature is not a place to visit, it is home. Today, Darsh didn't just invite us to visit the nature, he asked us to worship it. Darsh, during your speech, you had a good purpose, elevating the nature to the status of divine. I loved you didn't use facts about the pollution. You didn't just give us random facts. You gave us spiritual connection between the nature and the people. Your vocal variety when you whispered about the silence of forest was captivating. It drew all of our attention immediately. However, to truly tell the message to this big audience that nature is God, your physical presence needs to match the magnitude of your words. So let's talk about few of the things or few of the points I loved about your communication. You had a good spiritual angle. That is, you didn't just talk about the ecology, you elevated the topic by talking about the nature and its divinity. You had a good vocal variety throughout the speech. When you talk about the silence of the forest, you had a good whisper to it. You had a good opening hook as well. Nature is not a place to visit, it is home. This quote immediately grabbed all of our attention. Now, if I were at your place, here are the few things that I would personally do to take my speech to the next level. When you spoke about the earth being steadfast, you were shifting your weight from one foot to the other foot. What I would do at your place is I would plant my feet on the ground. And when I talk about the earth or the nature or trees, I would just bend down so it is more profound, more, how do I say, it will connect your message to the magnitude of your words. Then the other thing is when you talk about the vastness of God, your elbows were tucked against your ribs. You need to make it open, have a more open gesture when you talk about natural things like, for example, elevating nature to God. Have an open arm so the audience can comprehend the magnitude of the words. In conclusion, I would say it was a fantastic speech and it relates to all of us being Indians. And so that's it. I really love your speech and I would hope that you take my suggestion into account to go to the next level. Over to you.
Madam Timer, kudos to you for explaining the timing rules of the evaluation segment with such eloquence. It is truly is support to everybody that's performing this role when the timer does her role with such efficiency. That is exactly what is expected of a timer, and that is what taking the role of a timer enables us to do. Therefore, thank you on my behalf and thank you from everybody in the meeting for explaining your role so beautifully.
Now you explain the role. Yes, you're
Uh,
going back.
You're on mute.
okay,
Yeah.
okay, yeah. Thank you, General Evaluator. So as a timer, I'll be recording the timings of the Grammarian AhCounter and the Speech Evaluator. And whenever I'm called upon, I'll be presenting my report. Over to you, General Evaluator.
Thank you. Fellow Toastmasters, we have reached that stage of our meeting where we look back to look forward. What does that mean? In anything that we do in life, our ability to analyze for ourselves what we have done gives us the wings to fly. But if you really want to soar up above the world, like the majestic eagle does, the only way to do it is to understand what you can improve, enhance what you already got as your strength, and leverage both of that to give your wings the strength that it needs to really spread out and take you high up where you desire to be, which is precisely what we do in our evaluation segment. We look back at what we have done and learn from what we have done well, learn also from what we haven't done so well. And in this topsy-turvy world, learning is the only steady, stable, all opportunity and alternative available to all of us. So here is to learning from our evaluation session. Let's look at all of us with a critical eye and learn from what we have done well and learn to not do things which we can possibly avoid.
Thank you. Over to you, distinguished Toastmaster Seshadri. I'm sure the evaluation session will be an eye-opener. Holding us up to high standards is the endearing trait of distinguished Toastmaster Sushant Seshadri. A banker by profession, distinguished Toastmaster Seshadri banks on soulful storytelling, ardent oration, and pristine performance for transformation from a skillful speaker to a competent communicator. Now, let us recall the vibrant table topic session with curated topics that made us dig deep within, recognize our own feelings, fears, passion, creativity, and limitations. Thank you. Over to you for your concluding remarks, Toastmaster Dr. Deepak Deshpande, Table Topics Master, and for the further developments. Over to you. Thank you for that experience.
Thank you. As Table Topics Master of the Day, I, Dr. Deepak Deshpande, appreciate every participant. The session was not just fun, it added new dimensions. And congratulations, almost everyone used the word of the day, Disarray. In Marathi, Disarray means be seen. This is English disarray. Many of you use the idiom upside down. This deserves thunderous applause. My special appreciation goes to Timer for following topsy-turvy theme in timing screens. You started timing screen with red. At 1 minute, screen turned yellow. And at 1 minute 30 seconds, green screen was shown. At 2 minutes, white clock was shown. The green was indication to stop. Wonderful job. May we have timer report, please?
Thank you so much, Table Topic Master. So the speaker 4 took 1 minute 55 seconds. Speaker 3 took 1 minute 40 seconds. Speaker 2 took 2 minutes 5 seconds. and speaker 1 took 1 minute 40 seconds. So everybody has qualified. Over to you,
Thank you, Ms.
Tabletop
Bhat.
Master.
Thank you. Thank you for the crisp report. No one exceeded 2 minutes, I believe. Lovely. Let us clap for table topic speaker 4. Any claps? Speaker 4, thank you for your amazing perspective on the topic. If we all are born 70 and we turn younger every day, can we listen to speaker 4, please?
Who was speaker 4? The topic was, if we started our life at the age of 70 and then we becoming younger.
Yes.
Who was the
The
speaker?
topic is, if we all are born 70 and we turn younger every day. Any volunteers?
No. You already had the speaker. I'm just trying to locate who's the speaker.
Okay. Speaker 4.
Please put up your hand. I think Mamatha, you can unmute and speak. You can?
Yes, Deepak.
Yes.
I can speak.
Thank you.
When can you repeat again?
Right.
Yes.
If you're born at the age of 70 and then you're
We
going
turn
back.
younger
That's what he
every
said.
day. If you're born 70 and you turn younger every day.
Okay, got it. Yeah. Uh, I watched a movie in Telugu called Oh Baby. So there it happened. One woman, she wanted to fulfill what she had missed in her younger age, which she couldn't enjoy, and then she reached to 70, I mean above 70 years, then she wanted to come back for that and enjoy what she missed. So I'm recalling those memories came to explain me today as part of this table topics. I'm very glad for that, and it's a really, one side I'm excited that I'm going younger every day. What I definitely would do, as born by 70 years, definitely I would have gray or white hair. I would try each and every day my hair is turning black color, which I really feel happy. And other way, my skin wrinkles and I look beauty, and I get more energetic to do my works myself without depending on anybody else. And I will be able to earn money, so I'll feel more happy that I'm going independent day by day, which which when I'm born at 70 I couldn't do that. So that's a privilege I feel, that every day younger I become, every day I feel enthusiastic. That's all.
Thank you, Mamta. Now let's applaud table topic speaker 3. Clap for funny, fresh insights on the topic. A world where kids made the rules.
Can you repeat the topic, because I'm not able to identify the speaker? What was the topic?
Table topic speaker 3. The topic is a world where kids made the rules.
Okay, that was a topic that was given to table topic speaker 3.
Correct.
The world where kids made the rules. Wow.
Correct.
Who was the speaker? Can you please put up your hand? Who was the speaker who spoke? Can you please put up your hand? All the rules were made by the kids. If such a world exists, then what would happen? You spoke on that topic. Anybody would like to put up the hands? I think Saravana Kumar. Yes. Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah. Hello,
Yes. You can unmute and
Toastmaster.
talk. Yes.
Yeah. Hello, Toastmasters and guests. I believe even today, world is ruled by kids only, because I'm still a kid to my mother. You're also still a kid to your mother. So you're also making your own rules. So why do we think it is not happening now? So we are also kids, and our kids also ruling us. So it's a keep on happening. So I I'm not finding anything new in this topic because it's already happening. Even our Prime Minister Narendra Modi is also a kid to his mother. He is ruling entire country, and even Trump is also kid to his father. So father and mother. So he's also ruling. So in that way, all kids are ruling this world. So that's my take on this topic. How about you, Toastmaster Deepak?
Thank you. Well, I wish I could share that before. I tend to agree with you. Now can we listen to speaker two, please?
What was the topic?
Topic is a world where failure is celebrated and success is ignored.
Okay, I
world
think
where
Sunil
failure
has
is
put up his hand. Sunil would like to speak. Thank you. I'm adding him to the spotlight. He spoke, I think. Sunil spoke on this topic. Right. Repeat the topic so that he can continue.
A world where failure is celebrated and success is ignored.
Success. Hello, everyone.
Hello.
How many of you failed in your life? How many of you received the taunt of that particular Sharmaji ka beta or uncle? Ki be like that Sharmaji wala beta. In your childhood, the school was race of scoring good marks. Then after, in college, followed by the corporate career, the numbers, your packages is the race. So can we make or create a world where the failure is celebrated? Because we have limited life. We have average life of 60 years or 65 years. Life is really uncertain. And why we should chase the numbers? Why we should chase the superficial numbers? Because ultimately, the numbers or the money is only and only for running your life. And life is given to invent, to discover, and to be happy. So I would like to urge you all, where do you want to fail? Just reflect, where do you want to fail instead of success? Because this social media creates that particular bubble where the only and only success is celebrated. Let's create a world where failure celebrated. Over to you.
Thank you, Sunil, for willing to speak on a day where world failure is celebrated and success ignored. Now it's time to welcome speaker number one.
Travan Kumar is here.
A day at work where all rules turned upside down. Let's welcome speaker number one. A day at work where all rules turned upside down.
Yes, if he can, I don't see the video, but he can speak. Yes. You can unmute and speak, Sravanji. And if you
Again,
can put on your video,
I spoke a while ago.
Okay. I saw your hand up, so I thought probably you want to speak. Yes.
Oh,
Okay.
sorry.
Once more the
Sorry.
topic. Repeat the topic.
The topic is a day at work where all rules turned upside down.
Wow. All rules turned upside down at work. How wonderful that would be. Who was the person who spoke on it? Oh, I forgot. I spoke on it. Sorry. Being the Toastmaster of the day, I just forgot that I was also the speaker. The day when things go upside down, my boss is not giving me orders. I decide what I want to do. When I enter the office, I find the CEO is standing there and he's saluting everybody as he enters. I don't find the security personnel standing there. Because the CEO himself is standing there, I think people have suddenly become more careful. And they realize, they look at their dress. Oh, probably I have not ironed my shirt. I should have been cleaner today. And then they bother to stand by and ask, how are you today, sir? Which probably they never did it to their security person. They never even were aware of what is the name of that security person. Now they go to the reception. And at the reception is sitting CHRO of the company, welcoming all the people. How nice. Generally, they look upon him as the person who is the executioner. And he is there to welcome them and tell them, okay, have a good day. And they feel, oh, today I'm not going to be pulled up for something wrong or my business lead has passed on, escalated. They feel good about it, that HR is not there just to enforce policy, but they are just relating to them. Now, email is not the format. People are expected to talk. Meetings are not supposed to be longer. Meetings end in 5 minutes. You are supposed to stand and talk, and within 5 minutes, meetings have to end. Coffee breaks are not long. Coffee will be either served at the table, and if you go to the coffee kiosk, you should be back within 10 minutes. Nobody stands at the kiosk and talks. And nobody is allowed to work beyond 5 o'clock. And it is very clear that people who work beyond 5 o'clock don't know how to manage their timelines. Organization is very particular about it. And that is the day that when the world goes topsy-turvy, I'll be the happiest. Thank you, and over to you.
Great, Girija, for agreeing to speak on a day at work where all rules turned upside down. So friends, today we will have a unique TT session. Everything topsy-turvy, and I'm sure all of you will live up to the spirit of the theme. Thank you, and over to you, TMoD.
Oh, yeah, thank you. The most popular and loved section of Toastmasters meeting is the table topic session. Conducting that is Toastmaster Dr. Deepak Deshpande, CEO, Soft Binomials. With 30 plus experience as human resource leader, he loves singing and makes others dance to his tune. One of them happens to be me. This transition to this impromptu speech section after the prepared speech section resonates with our theme today, that is the topsy-turvy. The confident speakers sometimes stammer, and the shy ones find their voice during table topics. In a topsy-turvy world, today's strengths may become tomorrow's liabilities, and today's weaknesses, or today whatever is not considered something precious, may become highly valued. We don't know. Art subjects, people think, oh, there is nothing special to it. Those were not subjects for which people thronged, but that is changing today slowly, because originality and not artificial intelligence will be sought after. Those who make and work as per the plans may perish. Those who rupture routines and take charge of changing situations may succeed. Why did the old cell phone brands like BlackBerry, Nokia fade? They did not innovate as per the market needs, prepare for the fierce competition, or break the monotony and think out of the box. We see in this meeting itself that chaos is a strange way of shaking us and making us awake. An upside down meeting forced us to listen harder and think sharper. Disorder, that is disarray, oddly enough, has become a ruthless but effective teacher. Moving on, we already heard speakers Siddharth and Nupur searching their souls to find out their predominant communication styles. And Darsh was stimulating our souls to find God in nature. This brought us to the prepared speech section. I profusely thank Timer Prasita for doing a marvelous job. Timer Prasita, I look forward to your presenting the timer report. You presented a beautiful timer report for the prepared speech section.
Thank you, Toastmaster of the Day. The speaker 3, Siddharth, Toastmaster Siddharth has taken 6 minutes 40 seconds. Speaker 2, Toastmaster Nupur has taken 6 minutes 50 seconds. Toastmaster Speaker 3, that is Toastmaster Darsh, has taken 7 minutes 10 seconds. So all of them have qualified for the votes. So over to you.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you so much for that. Friends, let's give it up for the enriching experience we got listening to Toastmaster Siddharth. We are rewinding 7 minutes backwards and listening to him now. Are you ready, Siddharth? Is the timer ready?
Ready.
Yes. So Toastmaster Siddharth. It's not what you say, it's how you say it. Go ahead.
Thank you, and over to you, Toastmaster Girija. Have you ever sent a perfectly clear message and still watched it crash and burn? You say, let's meet at 10. One person shows up at 9:55, another walks in at 10:15 with a cup of coffee, and one sends you a spreadsheet at 9:50. And you say, it's the same message, and yet there are 4 reactions. Toastmasters, the problem is not what we say, it's how we say it. So today, I want to talk about understanding your communication style, the 4 styles that quietly run our conversations and without which we would be living in an upside down world. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to explain the 4 different communication styles in the form of 4 short stories. I'm going to introduce 4 characters. So bear with me. These are the characters who you have met in everyday life. You may have worked with them or they might be you yourself. So the first type of communication style is the direct communication style or the direct communicator. So meet your friend Rahul, who is someone who loves planning trips. You ask, where should we go this weekend, Rahul? And Rahul replies, leave at 6 a.m. Goa. All bookings are done and pack light. No debate, no drama. Even when you're ordering food, he will simply say, 2 rotis, dal, sabzi, done. Direct communicators are decisive, they're confident, they're straight to the point. They don't enjoy long discussions, they enjoy decisions. The upside to this is that things move fast. The downside is that when they say things like, this won't work, what they mean is, let's fix it, let's make it work. But what others hear is, you are wrong and I am right. Therefore, direct communicators are efficient, but sometimes their sharpness cuts deeper than intended. The second type of communicator is the initiating communicator. Now meet Neha. Neha starts a meeting with, you won't believe what happened on my way here. So when she pitches an idea, she doesn't use bullet points. She uses stories, jokes, hand gestures, and dramatic pause. So once Neha explained a simple delay in her arrival by narrating the traffic, the cab driver's life story, and a motivational quote that she saw on Instagram. So initiating communicators, they're enthusiastic, they're energetic, they're inspiring, they bring a lot of energy into dull rooms. The upside is that people remember what they say. The downside is that halfway through the speech, the team wonders, what was the point again? So initiating communicators light fire, but sometimes they forget to check the map. The third communicator is called the supportive communicator. Now meet Arjun, who is someone who never seems to be able to decide on what food to eat or what restaurant to go to. You ask pizza or biryani, and he replies, anything is fine, whatever you like. So supportive communicators are empathetic, they are patient and great listeners. They want everyone to feel heard and comfortable. The upside is that people feel safe around them. The downside is that dinner gets delayed because no one has decided what to eat yet. So supportive communicators protect harmony, but sometimes at the cost of effective decision making. And the last type of communicator is called the analytical communicator. Now meet Priya. You say, let's pick something on Netflix to watch. And she says, well, let's watch this particular movie because it has an IMDb rating of 7.5. There is this particular genre involved, and the runtime is under 2 hours. They read reviews, they compare options, they calculate. The upside is you rarely regret the decision. The downside is that half an hour passes before the movie starts. So analytical communicators prevent disasters, but sometimes miss on opportunities. So what's the big insight here? The secret is no style is better than the other. It's all about deciding which communication style to use and, when. Great communicators don't just know their style, they learn to adapt it. So the next time communication fails, don't ask, why don't they understand me? Instead, ask, am I speaking their language? Because understanding your communication style isn't about changing who you are. It's about choosing how you connect. Otherwise, communication falls into disarray. Remember, it's not what I say, it's how I say it. And that, Toastmasters, is how conversations stop failing and start working. Thank you for that wonderful introduction, Toastmaster Girija.
Thank you. Toastmaster Siddharth Seshadri. It's not what you say, it's how you say it. It's not what you say, it's how you say it. Toastmaster Siddharth Seshadri. Toastmaster Siddharth is a new gem who is strung to the necklace of pearls and diamonds in Eloquent Elite Toastmasters Club. A sales manager at Britannia Industries, armed with MBA from BITS Pilani BTech from National Institute of Technology, Calicut, he won PR Stalwart Award in Toastmasters in 2022. Thank you, Toastmaster Aseel Saeed, for presenting the speech objectives of Toastmaster Siddharth Seshadri. We heard you and we wind back by a minute so that everybody can listen to her. Toastmaster Aseel Saeed presenting.
Yes, I'm just getting ready.
Yeah.
You know how sometimes I see in TV shows, what do you like to eat? Anything? And then suddenly they say, why did you add whatever it is? I don't like to eat it. You said anything. Yeah, how often do we see this story? I wouldn't say anything. After all, I can't tolerate spicy and I have a mild allergy to fish, so I would say anything except spicy and no seafood. Sounds good? Enough about me. Ladies and gentlemen, my target speaker connected with his audience with a question. Good job connecting with your audience and giving examples. And some of the examples were a bit funny. I laughed about the part we did not have time for dinner because we were debating on what to get. LOL. It was very humorous. You had a very strong message while delivering different types of leadership styles.
Toastmaster
Well done.
Aseel,
I do have. Yes.
you were to read out the speech objectives of Siddharth because it's a reverse meeting.
Yes, his objectives was to talk about the leadership styles and the different type. What's his style and the different styles
Communication
in
styles.
general. Yeah, what I read in the form, it was leadership, not communication.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you. Okay.
I'll send you my areas of improvement later.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Toastmaster Aseel Saeed is an Egyptian.
I haven't done
from Kuwait Toast. No, the evaluation you will not be presenting now. We'll come back to that. So Toastmaster Aseel Saeed is an Egyptian from the Kuwait Toastmasters Club. She seizes every opportunity to work with kids. Friends, now let us give a thunderous applause for Nupur's exploration of her communication strategy. Toastmaster Nupur, we have raced 7 minutes backwards and we are keen to rewind and listen to you now. Are you in your speaking positions? Is the timer ready?
Am I audible?
Yeah, I'm ready.
Okay, I will just highlight the timer and also Nupur. I don't see Nupur. My Zoom is doing tricks.
Is there?
Yeah, I know. Here. Yes. Yes.
Thank you, Toastmaster of the Day. Good evening, Toast guest and Toastmaster. Have you ever explained something very clear, at least according to you, and still felt that other person's reaction was completely upside down from what you expected? I have experienced this many times. For long, I believe that if I was logical, clear, and correct, my job was done. But Toastmaster taught me something important. Be clear does not always rhyme. Today, I want to talk about my communication style, how learning to flexible. But Toastmaster taught me something important. Being clear does not always mean being understood. Today, I want to talk about my default communication style and how learning to flexible has changed the way I communicate both at work and at home. When I learned about the four communication styles direct, initiative, analytical, and supportive, I didn't need much time to identify mine. I am an analytical communicator. I like I like details. I like structure. I like things to make sense. Professionally, this helped me a lot. I plan before I speak. I explain step by step and focus on accuracy. In my mind, logic brings order when things are in disarray. But over a time, I learned one important lesson. Logic alone doesn't work for everyone. I first realized thing at work. Once I explain a task to my team, every aspect are clear, every rule are explained, and every possible mistake are cleared. I felt satisfied that everything was clear. Later, one of my team members said, everything was correct, but I felt a little strict. That surprised me. I didn't mean to sound strict. I was just being analytical. That's when I understand that my style, thought, correct, wasn't always comfortable to others. This lesson became even more clear at my home with my son. One evening, while helping him study, he made a small mistake. Immediately, my analytical side took over. I explained where he went wrong, why it was a wrong, and how he should correct it next time. Logically, it was a perfect explanation, but emotionally, it doesn't work at all. He became a quite discouraged. At that moment, I realized something very important. My son didn't need analysis, he needed encouragement. So I changed my approach. I encourage him before correcting him. I listen more and speak less. I focus on his effort instead of his mistake. And the change was immediate. The same child who had shut down earlier became a more confident and willing to try again. That when I truly understand the importance of changing my communication style. Over a time, I learned that some people need encouragement first, some need energy and motivation, some need quick and direct answer, and some need, like me, need details and logic. There's a no right or wrong style. What matters is knowing when to adjust. Today, I'm still analytical by nature. I still very clear and accurate. But now I'll pay attention to emotion, tone, and timing. Because communication is not about showing that we are right. It is about making the other person feel understood. So, if you ask me today, what is your communication style? My answer is I am analytical by default, but flexible by choice. And that choice is what shaped my work, my life, and my relationship. Thank you.
Toastmaster Nupur Saklecha. My life, my choice. My life, my choice. Toastmaster Nupur Saklecha. Toastmaster Nupur is an avid traveler, connoisseur of cuisine, and a germophile. She pours into balance sheets and drives value for her clients through financial discipline. Thank you, Toastmaster Vinaya Anand, for presenting the speech objectives of Toastmaster Nupur Saklecha.
Toastmaster Nupur is presenting speech title My Life, My Choice. The purpose of her speech is for the member to identify her primary leadership style or styles. The purpose of this speech is for the member to share some aspect of her primary leadership style or discuss leadership style in general. Her speech length is 5 to 7 minutes. All the best.
Thank you. The subject was actually communication style. I think I sent the wrong topsy-turvy. So you got the next evaluation sheet. Thank you. And now, happy to introduce Toastmaster Vinaya Anand from Dubai. Between a MetLife career and Hindi tutoring, she nurtures not just kids or people wanting to learn languages. She nurtures her passion for communication with Toastmasters self. That was a memorable appeal for conserving nature, Toastmaster Darsh. We play an encore here. We want it back. Hearken your ears, ladies and gentlemen.
Hi, sorry, just an audio check. Am I audible?
Yes, audio is fine.
You can start, right?
Yes.
Sure. Thank you, everyone. Nature is not a place to visit. It is actually a home. Now, this may sound very deep, very meaningful, very heavy. So let me try to simplify what I mean. When we think of nature, what do we think? Nature is made by God. God, who is ever present, all powerful, eternal. So the nature he created must be vast as well, right? Nature is earth, water, fire, air. But nature also exists in the little things, like the silence in the forest, the food in the plate in front of us. Yes. My mother always told me that nature is where God exists. I never really understood it. Growing up, this was not only, something that is not something that is sacred. It is not something that is religious. It is actually something of a rule, something that we had to follow at the dining table, whether the earth steadfast or no. I was not allowed to waste a single vegetable on my plate. I used to crib, I used to cry, I used to sit at the table with my plate for hours, praying to God, just make this vegetable disappear. I don't want to eat it. But my mother was strict. I had to. Initially, I thought that it was something to discipline me. She was just being strict. But later, I realized that the meaning she had behind this rule was far greater. It was about understanding the value of the food that was in front of me. The resources in this world are finite. We cannot treat them carelessly. People in this world are starving. They don't have enough food to eat. There is inequality that is so great. Mumbai, where I live, I can see this inequality every single day. People here live in houses that are 2 crore, 5 crore, 10 crores, 50 crores. But in front of the same buildings, there are people living on the streets. People who do not get a single morsel to eat. This morsel of food, which people just throw away, treat as luxury, it doesn't just appear by magic. A farmer works hard, sows his crops, protects his grains, fights against weather, and eventually he grows that one grain of food. That one grain of food which the rich people may not value, but someone who is poor doesn't receive that. That one grain of food is not accessible to everyone. I used to think earlier, when I was younger, that these people who are on the street, who are begging, well, why are they begging? Shouldn't they just work? Shouldn't they just get a job? But as I grew, my perspective turned upside down. I realized that when you're starving, you cannot focus on what you have to do next week. You cannot learn a skill. You cannot find a job. This eventually led me to understand that there's something I need to do to contribute to this cause. And eventually, I joined the Robin Hood Army. For those who don't know, the Robin Hood Army is a zero fund, volunteer based, non for profit organization. What we do, we collect excess food that would otherwise be wasted and we give it to the people who need it. In my own cluster, we serve about 150 kids every week. But I don't want to focus about the Robin Hood Army. I would rather share one single experience that really changed me. Somewhere around last year, we took part in an event. It was one of the biggest events of the year. Massive excitement. Fans running hugely to get in line, to get the tickets. There was excitement. There was awe. There was lights. There was drama. There was music. I am, of course, talking about the Coldplay concert last year. People waited in front of their laptops for hours just to get that one ticket. They were standing in queues for further more hours just to get inside the concert, to sing, to dance, to enjoy. But while people were enjoying, a lot of that food which was prepared for that concert would go to waste. When the concert ends, the entire venue is in disarray. People get up and leave. But what about the food? The food that was prepared for the event? Statistics say that only about 50% of that food is actually consumed. What happens to the rest? It is thrown in the trash. So, while the entire auditorium, the entire stadium was enjoying, the Robin Hood Army was working behind the scenes. We collected the food, managed the logistics, and we fed 150 kids that day. 150 kids ate because we did not let that food go to waste. So, what did I learn? Well, I used to think that to create a change, you need billions of dollars, life changing ideas, help. But if you see this situation, this experience that I had, the solution was already there. The food existed, the hungry existed. But what we needed was someone to take that first step, someone to execute and get the job done. I have learned that emotion or good values can start a change, but to execute it, to finish it, you have to take that one step. You have to go one step ahead to create that change. So, as I said earlier, my mother is a strong believer that God lives in nature, but it is only through these experiences that I eventually understood what she really meant. If you see something that is being wasted, something of nature, something that has value to someone, but is currently with someone who doesn't exist, it is your job to make sure that someone who really deserves it gets what they require. So, my one request to each of you today is try to identify that value, something that is existing but is not being put to good use. Don't let food go to waste. Try to get the food that people really need in their mouths. Be the change that the people deserve. Thank you. Over to you, Toastmaster of the Day.
Toastmaster Darsh Chadha, God lives in nature. God lives in nature. Toastmaster Darsh Chadha. Toastmaster Darsh is a part of a venture capital and private equity team and Nippon and mutual funds. He loves music and sports. Thank you, Toastmaster Riyad Mohammad, for presenting the speech objectives of Toastmaster Darsh Chadha. Toastmaster Riyad for presenting. Thank you for presenting the speech objectives of Darsh.
A very good evening to everyone present here from rainy Dubai. Today I'm evaluating my speaker, Toastmaster Darsh, in his speech titled Nature is God.
God lives in
where
nature.
God is in nature. So the meeting is in reverse, so I do have a difficulty in synchronizing with the flow. All right. So today I'll be evaluating our speaker of the day, Toastmaster Darsh, in his level 1, project 2, dynamic leadership. The purpose of his speech is to learn or review the basic methods of writing a speech with a well-defined purpose and to present a well-organized speech in any topic. He needs to select a topic that appeals to him. It can be anything. He needs to make sure that the topic is narrow enough to be effective from 5 to 7 minutes. Over to you, Toastmasters of the Day.
Thank you. I'm very glad to introduce Toastmaster Riyad Mohammad. Toastmaster Riyad is a third-year electrical and electronics student in Manipal Academy of Higher Education in Dubai. He is a karateka and a Toastmaster in his first trimester. Now, we start with the first section, the curriculum coverage, the prepared speech section of the Toastmasters meeting. Our Toastmasters have set out on their chosen paths and we will meet role players who help them on their journey. The first milestone is where we met our timer. Thank you, Timer Toastmaster Prasita, for demonstrating the timing guidelines for the prepared speech section.
Yeah, thank you, Toastmaster of the Day. As a timer, I'll be calibrating the timings of the speakers. So at the end of 5 minutes, I'll be showing the yellow card. At the end of 6 minutes, I'll be showing the green card. And at the end of 7 minutes, it will be white. So over to you, Toastmasters.
Thank you for that crisp and clear explanation. Timer Prasita Bhat is a proud homemaker, mother to 2 young college-going boys, and a fitness enthusiast. Thank you, AhCounter Toastmaster Tulin Padhy, for explaining your role in facilitating smooth speech without fillers.
Good evening. I am Toastmaster Tulin Padhy. My duty as AhCounter is to listen attentively to each speaker. Absolutely. Basically, I will make note of the use of the correct sounds such as filler words such as but, so, right,
okay, like, then, well, basically, absolutely, seriously, and etc. Filler phrases such as you know, you see, I mean, etc. used by speakers when they are not called for in the context. When called upon, I'll give a report of these speaking errors. I hope this report will help your speakers of the annoying habit of using vocalized pauses and filler words. This role as AhCounter is bound to sharpen my focus and concentration. I hope I will catch every desired expression. Over to you, Toastmaster of the Day.
Excellent. It gives me great pleasure to introduce our AhCounter, Tulin Padhy. As civil engineering graduate, she's an experienced professional in geotech and education. She loves painting and dancing. What a wonderful dancer she is. Now, thank you, Grammarian Toastmaster Supriya Manumari, for clearly explaining your role as grammarian.
Hi, good evening, everyone, and good morning to our Toastmasters joining from the US. I'm Toastmaster Supriya, and I will be your grammarian today. The grammarian plays a crucial role in enhancing language skills and promoting effective communication during Toastmasters meetings. As a grammarian, it is my responsibility to pay close attention to all speakers, listen carefully for the use of their language. I will make a note of exemplary usages, outstanding words, and remarkable idioms, relevant sayings, and memorable quotes. I will also make a note of areas of improvement and pronunciation errors. I will present the word of the day and idiom of the day now. I have chosen these keeping in mind that if they go with the theme of the meeting today, everyone will find it easy to use them. I appeal to all the speakers to use these frequently when they speak. I'm now sharing a quick PowerPoint on the word and idiom of the day. May I have the permission to share now?
Please go ahead.
Thank you. The word of the day is disarray, and
We're
it's
not
pronounced
sharing it.
as
We have not
this.
seen it. Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry. Let me stop sharing. You all see my screen now?
See the screen.
The word of the day is disarray, and the pronunciation is disarray, and the part of the speech is noun. In few meanings with the sample sentences, a state of disorder or confusion, like how it was for a meeting today. The room was in disarray after the children finished playing. One more meaning, a situation where things are not organized. An example, sample sentence, the files were left in disarray, making them hard to find. Confusion or lack of order. The team was in a disarray due to sudden changes. The words often confused with disarray. Disorder means lack of control or order or control. The room was in disorder. Chaos, meaning complete confusion. Mess, used mostly for physical clutter. Idiom of the day is upside down, which means completely disorganized or confused. Sample sentences, my schedule was turned upside down after the meeting was rescheduled. The sudden announcement turned everyone's plan upside down. Other ways to say it is all mixed up or disorganized. The phrase upside down originally described something that was literal inverted, like an object turned over, used to describe confusion, disorder, or sudden change. When I present my report during the evaluation section, I will acknowledge the names of the speakers who use the word and idiom of the day and exemplary usage of language, areas of improvement in grammar and pronunciation. Thank you for the opportunity. Over to you, Toastmaster of the day.
You are on mute,
Yes,
Girija.
I got it. Yeah. Making a quick intro here, Toastmaster Supriya Manumari, who just presented her grammarian, who would be presenting a grammarian role. She joins us from the US. She has a decade of experience as a network engineer. She's a multifaceted personality who loves cooking, gardening, baking, traveling, and she's a mother of 2 children, teenagers. Now, thank you so much to the general evaluator of the day who explained his role so clearly and concisely.
In my role as the general evaluator of today's meeting, my objectives are threefold. Objective number one, to recap the meeting for the benefit of all the participants and the audience members. Two is to provide constructive feedback to the club in general and to role players in specific to help them enhance their skills and their attributes while Toastmastering. And three, of course, is to provide an opportunity for each of the other evaluating members, from the assigned evaluators to the timer to the grammarian and the AhCounter, a clear opportunity to demonstrate their skills. All in all, this role encompasses the art of listening, the science of giving feedback, and the craft of ensuring active participation in the meeting without necessarily talking during the meeting. That is going to be my role, and I look forward to doing it during this meeting today. Thank you for having me as a general evaluator. Back to you, Madam Toastmaster.
Thank you. Our general evaluator, happy to introduce him. He is a banking professional who believes that Toastmaster gives you the currency of communication to catapult us from speakers to effective communicators. Now, welcome to the reverse meeting of Eloquent Elite Toastmasters Club. When nearing a century, we are thankful to this Toastmasters platform, visualized, set up, and put in motion by our founder, Paul Harris. Toastmasters is the perfect microcosm of the scrambled world. Here, titles matter less, and attitude matters more. Service is more important than accolades. Listening becomes louder than talking, and empathy outshines authority here in Toastmasters, believe me. In the real world, we see the reverse happening. And at the same time, we've also seen that reverse engineering has worked wonders. In the early 19th century, chemist Daniel started with the assumption, if a fire has already started, how can it be effectively extinguished? Working backwards, he devised a device using chemical reactions to put out fire. So that is how the fire extinguisher came into existence. Similarly, Steve Jobs and his team at Apple approached product design by working backward from what the customer wants, what is the user experience as the customer would desire. So they consider not just the technical functions, but the feel, touch, the user interaction, design aspects, aesthetics, everything. So that resulted in the revolutionary products like the iPhone and the iPad. Planning this meeting itself was a great brain exercise, and such topsy-turvy approach to meeting made our ears stand up, reaction on alert mode. But otherwise, we take it for granted. Everything goes the same way. So before I start the meeting, let me move the motion to pass the agenda. There are no corrections in the agenda. As the VP Education, I can confirm that. So I request somebody to propose that the motion to adopt the agenda be passed. Somebody to propose the motion, please, and a seconder to second the motion to adopt the agenda. Anyone? Please unmute and propose that the agenda can be adopted.
I propose that the agenda be adopted.
Thank you. Thank you so much. I request somebody to second.
I second.
Thank you. I declare the 98th meeting of Eloquent Elites Toastmasters Club open. Thank you, Sergeant at Arms Mamatha Chinnachikkannag, for that superbly warm introduction that set the tone of the meeting.
Thank you for declaring the meeting open, Presiding Officer. I am so relieved that in this reverse meeting, my role title instead of SAA did not become AAS. I mean, imagine the scene if someone mispronounces it. It is my proud privilege today in this reverse meeting to take the baton from, instead of passing over to the presiding officer and Toastmaster of the day, Girija Deshpande. Toastmaster Girija is a professional success coach, a blogger, translator writer, YouTuber, Rotarian, grandmother to 2 teenagers, a mother to 3 professionals, life partner of our table topics master today, Toastmaster Dr. Deepak Deshpande. She is the founder of this club and currently the Vice President of Education. She is a friend, confidant, and mentor to all of us. Please stay back to network after the meeting. Then you are welcome to call us and ask to your heart's content for thoroughly confusing you with this disarray. I mean, for conducting this meeting upside down and for informing you now that the meeting is being recorded. As per our meeting protocol, I suggest you to keep your videos on and audio on mute unless you are invited to talk. Also, put off any noise-making device around you and rename yourself as informed earlier. Toastmasters' mission is to make every Toastmaster brim with self-confidence and achieve best personal growth. How do the club achieve this? We provide a supportive and positive learning experience in which members are empowered with communication and leadership skills. Good evening and a warm welcome to Eloquent Elites Toastmasters Club reverse meeting on the theme Topsy-turvy.